Today on the TMZ Podcast.
Welcome to the TMZ Podcast. I've got Edward Lewis here from the TMZ Sports Desk. He's going to fill us in on all the details going on with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. The relationship's still going on. My beloved Jets went down last night, but he's going to tell you what really mattered, which was what was going on in the luxury box last night with Taylor and some celebrity friends. Then we'll go over Kim Kardashian and Tom Brady having a little playful banter at a charity auction. And finally, we'll wrap up with Beyonce announcing her Renaissance Tour concert film. Is she jacking Taylor Swift swag? So Taylor's going to be in a bunch of stories today, but we'll start off with Taylor went to MetLife Stadium last night to watch the Jets face off against the Cheifs. It was a very close game, actually quite competitive. Zach Wilson really showed out. Did you see that?
He did.
He looked like a real quarterback,
Until
but
he didn't.
in the end, Patrick Mahomes slid for a first down and ran out the clock, and it was a dispiriting end to the evening. But what went on in the luxury box? Tell us about Taylor.
So, yeah, Taylor Swift showed up again. Obviously, it seems now things are very, very official with her and Travis, if they weren't already. She was up there with Blake Lively, and Reynolds, Sophie Turner, Hugh Jackman was there. It's stellar.
She brings a swarm of like high-profile friends because there's video of her going through the metal detector in her little jean shorts, and she's all ready for the game. We'll get to the jean shorts later. But right behind her, who like is just blotted out by the sun, you barely notice him there, is Ryan Reynolds, one of the biggest movie stars we have. But she's such a big celebrity at this point that everyone kind of blurs into the background. Then you have to learn like, oh man, she was there with Ryan Reynolds. She was there with Sophie Turner, who's no one's been in the news more than Sophie Turner. She's been on Taylor's arm, so it's a big deal that they're now hanging out consistently together as she navigates this divorce from Joe Jonas. She's up there, she's cheering. My question when I see her now is she a full football fan? When you date a football player as big and high profile as Travis Kelce, who is a massive star, is she now into football? Is it authentic, or is she just sort of playing the role of like a wag?
She's obviously into Travis, and if she likes him, and maybe she's just there supporting it. And obviously these football games, if you go to them, they're more entertainment off the field than they are on them. You know, like I went to one to SoFi Stadium recently, and you're looking at video boards, and they're showing fans, and they had that trivia games and all that kind of stuff. It's less about football really when you go to those things. So,
it must be strange for her to be in a stadium where everyone's not chanting her name. Like I feel like she packs stadiums. She's not just like an arena person. She doesn't go to the Viper Room. She packs out whole football stadiums, and they'll be chanting her name. And now she's in a luxury box. She's not the spectacle. It must be cool to sort of observe how this all looks when you're not the center of the spectacle. Let me ask you a question. Do you think she has a fantasy team? Like, is she an annoying enough person? And I'm now tipping my hand a little bit that she annoys me a little bit as a person. Is she now like fully into it? Is she gonna be wearing Chiefs gear? Is she got a fantasy squad? Is she like checking stats and box scores?
I think everybody has a fantasy team, right? I don't know. I mean, even casual sports fans have a fantasy team. It's just a way to kind of get involved and be involved in sports in a way that maybe you wouldn't before. But I would imagine she does, yes. But I think that's the lure of dating Travis, though. Like where you're talking about he understands what she's going through, right? Like if she's dating a normal person, how could you possibly do that? And Travis is a guy who's been in front of these arenas. Everybody's cheering his name, and 70,000 people there. So I think that's an aspect that she must like about Travis.
He understands it, but on a smaller scale.
Yes.
Like it's clear that her dating him has elevated him. I saw during the telecast, they said that his jersey sales, he was in like the top 50, before the game. He's in the top like 5 jersey sales now, just from dating Taylor Swift. And everything's crazy because whatever she does, there was the ranch and ketchup sauce that Heinz immediately piggybacked on in the last game. Well, this game, what was she wearing that was interesting? She was wearing a pair of jean shorts. They weren't that interesting, but they were apparently on the market, and they were selling for $1,213. $1,200 jorts. And they're just modest jorts. I mean, she looks nice in them because she's very, very pretty, but there's nothing sort of spectacular about them. They sold out. They were 50% off the night of the game. So this company that was marketing them, genius move. They said, hey, half off. So now they're only getting $528. So their profit margin is only $525 or whatever it is. And they sell them out because they can market them as the Taylor jean shorts from the Chiefs Jets game. It's ridiculous. And, the companies are smart because I think this gimmick is still working while she's so hot. But good Lord.
We saw that with Travis's gear from the last game as well. Travis wore that kind of exotic, like denim fit. It was a white and blue kind of
the
look.
splatter paint.
Yeah, splatter paint.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was originally just called, I forget what it was called, some denim fit or whatever. And then the company saw that Taylor was going to be there and he's dating it, and they changed it to the 1989 denim fit, and it
sells out.
It
sells out. I hope none of you guys are buying it. I think one guy in our office who might be in on this kind of stuff is like Lucas. I feel like Lucas always hops on a trend. He's also on the sports desk, and he'll always have like the hottest thing going on. And I could imagine him wearing that jacket to the office. All right. After the game, I want to touch on this. They leave together separately after the Chiefs win, but probably, hooked up somewhere along the line. They left separately after he gets his win. He bolted from the Chiefs locker room. She's very busy. I want to say, like, her going to all these games, the other big point of it is she's exhausted. That tour, I know she's making, I read somewhere like she makes $13 million in revenue per night of that tour, and he makes $12.5 million a year.
Right.
So just to put in perspective how gigantic she is. But she's busy, and so he's probably following her around. She came to the game, and he bolts out, and maybe they connect or something. I don't know if this thing has legs, but it's sort of interesting to me now because there's so much attention on it, and her history and track record with boyfriends is checkered, I think you could say. I think is the most favorable way to put it. So I don't know. Are they together by season's end before we move to the next story?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't read too much in them leaving separately because he's obviously got to go to the team buses and they got to play in hotel. It's very rare that a player can just go on his own and then get a ride back to Kansas City. It's not kosher in the sports world.
Ride. She's got a PJ, bro.
That's right. I mean, it's not considered a great teammate move to bail on your guys to go hang out with Taylor Swift. But they had been reportedly seen earlier in the day, and he was, I guess, at her apartment or earlier in the weekend. So they had obviously connected.
And he's known, this about this more than me. Is he known as a good teammate? He's not like a prima donna.
Exactly,
he's not a primetime,
he's not like
flashy
Cam
guy.
Newton. Yeah, no. He's always with Patrick Mahomes, and they are inseparable. And it'd be weird to see.
It'd be weird.
Yeah, but I think they are together by the end of the year. That's a lot, man, to go to a game and cheer them on 2 games in a row, and that all the attention's going to be on you, and everybody's talking smack, and she's dating it, and it's a lot, and she's doing it, and it's
they're both doing it. He's playing it well so far,
too,
so I give him credit. He had some messiness with his ex, who got in the news and a little bit piggybacked on this story, but now it seems clear. I think they'll be together for a little while. He seems like he's smitten.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to 2 other people who are not together, but people were sort of speculating after this weekend. So Kim Kardashian and Tom Brady were at a little charity auction. This is something very, very wealthy people do. This was for the Reform Alliance charity in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And there was an auction where they auction off, fine art. They auction off tchotchkes. This was a George Condo painting. George Condo's like a contemporary artist. He's a guy in his 60s from like the East Village art scene back in the day. Cool painting. You can look at it on our website. Well, they start bidding on it, and the bidding starts at $500,000. Now, it's for a good cause. Obviously, the paintings are nice, but they're trying to raise money for the event. So Kim kicks it off with $500,000. Now, in order to have people who are of that means to sort of buy these things, you need very rich people in the audience. So there's another very rich guy, and that's Tom Brady, recently retired, but mega wealthy, has his TB12 brand and so forth. He starts going at it, and they go back and forth. And according to people there was a little bit of flirtation. As you're throwing around this kind of money, it's kind of sexy, right? Yeah. So they're like looking at each other, they're giggling. It drives up to such an extent that it gets to $2 million. Then the auctioneers are like, holy cow, we got a lot of money. And George Condo's alive, by the way. So George Condo's like, hey, I got another painting. We can just give them 2 different paintings. They're a similar style, although I imagine if you're bidding on one, you really like it, but they throw in another one. They each get to buy it. The event host stepped in. They said both are going to receive their own George Condo paintings. I believe that means that both are going to bid $2 million.
Both
so
paid
this
$2
is
million.
$4 million
for 2 paintings
raised for charity.
Yeah. Number one, I didn't know Tom Brady had it like that.
He got it.
Like
he got it.
Football money is different than like celebrity money, right? Like
it's even different than baseball money in my day. Like those contracts are bigger.
Yeah, it's not that much, and he was famous for taking less with the Patriots so they can surround him more talent and win all those Super Bowls. So I didn't know that he had that kind of money, $2 million just thrown on paintings.
You think he got caught up in the moment he sees Kim over there, who does got it?
Right,
she got it. Yeah. She's in the billionaire category, and he might have got swept up. I don't know if he was like getting a little nervous that it was driving up, because I think she has more money than him, and I don't think that's a knock on Tom Brady, but he had the Giselle combo wealth for a while.
Sure.
No longer has that combo wealth. I'd say he's probably up there in the 500 million kind of range, so he can swing too. But it's a little more of a bite.
I agree.
He can't do an Instagram post like Kim and just make it all up.
That up. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it might be part of a game he's running a little game on Kim. This is his attempt to shoot his shot at her potentially. I mean, he's single. She's single. Maybe shoot a little shot and get it in a unique way, as opposed to like, "Hi, I'm Tom." It's like,
and I think he sort of needs
a
little extra swag too. I don't think he's like the smoothest guy. He's all right, but he's kind of dorky.
Yeah, he's
does
always
have
had
a little dad energy.
Yes.
But he does like beautiful women,
yes.
and that's like very consistent with him. I think he was dating Irina Shayk, or there was speculation that he was like sort of seeing Irina Shayk. He obviously was with Giselle for many, many years, so. He got a type. He likes just pretty.
Yeah.
Kim certainly fits that bill. I don't think we're going to see anything. The other thing that you pointed out before we even started this, what's going on? Why would Kim engage in this little giggly stuff?
Yeah, I mean, their episode or their new season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians is coming out, so she, in theory, would like to get as much headlines and attention on her as possible, so people, Google it. Oh, the new season's out. We can watch the new season. You recall, even a couple days ago, there was a rumor kind of got leaked out that she was seeing Odell Beckham Jr.
I know.
So it's like, okay, now you're seeing Odell. Now you're seeing Tom Brady. It's like, we get it. You got a new show coming out.
Exactly. Every time that Hulu, you always have to check your calendar. Like, when are Kardashian stories starting to break? There's been all this heat with, like you said, Odell Beckham. She's in the war with Kourtney, although it's an old beef that they're just like reheating. And now she's flirting with Tom Brady. They have a knack for just getting in the news at the right time to promote their shows. Now, I do think since they live in the limelight so often, some of this becomes real because they're there to promote their show, but then they also, she wants to bang Tom Brady. So it could fold into something kind of real.
Yes.
But I do think the start of it is always, how can I get eyeballs on my Hulu show and then see if my life unfolds? It's such a... I was looking on their Instagram yesterday, and she went to Kourtney's. She was posting about Kourtney's baby shower. She's supposed to be in a war with Kourtney, and like all of a sudden it was like pictures on her Instagram of this like amazing Disneyland baby shower for baby Barker or whatever they're calling that kid. It was incredible, dude. They had pretzels with like in the shape of Mickey ears, and I looked at it, and that was the thing that I marveled most because I've seen fancy parties. I don't go to as fancy parties as that, but I'm in the kid scene. Sure. I got some rich friends. The pretzels, how do you order them to look like? Did you see them? Wild saw them too. They were shaped like Mickey ears. I was like, I don't even know how you go about that. It's probably not that expensive, but it was the most impressive thing to me of all.
Wow.
Anyway, you didn't see that. You don't follow the same content because you're on the sports
I was in
beat.
Sports, yeah.
All right, so let's move on to our last story, which is Beyonce announcing the release of her concert film Renaissance. Now, the biggest concert series of the summer has been now we're going into the fall, but during the summer was the Eras tour. That was Taylor Swift's tour, made all the headlines. All the celebrities went. They put on their friendship bracelets. But at the same time going on was Beyonce. And Beyonce's the queen. I mean, Taylor may be, the next generation down, maybe a little more excitement, but she's the queen, and her tour did very well as well. And she's now releasing this concert film. And some people are saying, that seems familiar because coming out in theaters soon is Taylor Swift's concert movie. And they seem to want to go head to head. I think this is a risky move for Beyonce because you don't want to sort of situate yourself in a direct head-to-head matchup with Taylor Swift, not because it won't be like exciting for us to watch, but it'll expose her, I think, as less than. If she does it in a different time period, you could just say, hey, both are big, but hers came first, and then people were sort of tired of concert movies. If they do it head-to-head and they're gearing up to do it that way, how can she win?
Has it not already played out that way, though? I feel like throughout the whole summer, Taylor dominated, the headlines whenever a concert would go and then Beyonce's would go. It seemed like Taylor's was the more intriguing one or the more talked about one, the more buzzworthy one. And even, in fact, Beyonce there was that month stretch where she was like, can you guys come dressed in silver? Because Taylor Swift has her thing and everybody's dressed up. And Beyonce was like, well, I need that too. So it just feels like she is kind of losing that battle.
It starts to feel that way. And now with Taylor Swift dating Travis Kelce, Travis Kelce is a big star, but he's not Jay-Z.
Sure.
But they do start to seem like the elder statesmen, may
I
say.
agree.
Like Beyonce and Jay-Z are like mom and dad. They are the biggest mom and dad. They're extremely popular, but Taylor Swift dating Travis Kelce is hot. It's the hot young couple. I don't think they're as big, but they feel like more important right now. And I think Taylor's ability to just basically crown, Travis Kelce the prince shows her power right now. He would otherwise be a great football player, but most of the world wouldn't know him. Now everyone knows him. Her jean shorts sell out. Like his jacket sells out. She's just got more power now. I think Beyonce is the reigning champ, and I prefer Beyonce's music. But it doesn't seem desperate because there's nothing about Beyonce that ever reads desperate. She's so cool. And if you watch the trailer, she's stretching with her kid. She is leaning into the old mom nature of her. Like she's got a kid who's on tour with her. It's not as if she's shying away and doing kind of what Madonna does, where she's desperately grabbing onto youth. Beyonce's comfortable with like, hey, this is Blue Ivy. I had her. She's my I'm a mother now. So now she comes and dances with me, and I like that about her. She seems comfortable. But somewhere deep inside Beyonce, she's extremely competitive. She has to be to have gotten as big as she is. And so I wonder if when she sees the results of the Eras Tour, which I think is going to be like kind of like the Barbie moment.
Shocking, yeah.
It's going to be a shocking amount of money in theaters that she's just raking in. I wonder if it'll hurt. Like, I wonder how Beyonce is going to feel when Taylor Swift's Eras money is bigger than the Renaissance money.
Yeah, it does feel like she's transitioning into that like post massive star, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Still burning bright like a red giant,
and everybody
but it's already
still
exploded.
wants to come see you. But yeah, like it's not. Yeah, you're kind of moving into that role of like you're a legend, and we're coming to see you play the hits now. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yes.
It's not like you're releasing new music and we're desperate for it. And we're hanging out. We're just coming to see you and pay our respects to you. You know, it's a legendary role. So it's two different players.
It's totally different.
She is now that mom, like you said, and Taylor's. They
Taylor's it, man. And Taylor, what's funny is that tour is about the different eras of Taylor as if she's Paul McCartney. But she's like 33 years old. She's quite young to me. I know that may seem old to you, but like, the eras of me. Remember back in the 1989 days? I was like, yeah, I remember I was like 30. Like it wasn't that long ago to me. So it all feels like a blur. But this will be interesting. So it is cool. I think I want to talk about briefly about Blue Ivy, who, she's the poster child for nepotism, but I actually think in the video, she's taking it seriously. All the stuff I've seen, I don't hate because she's stretching backstage. She goes out. I've seen Tina Knowles, who I follow, because I just like the older follows. I like the mom of the mom. So Tina will post, this is my Blue Ivy, like a proud grandmother, and she's working it. She's not out there like preening. She looks like she knows all the dance moves. I don't mind it if you put your kid out there if your kid works.
Right.
And the kid is going to be very talented. She's just got too much genetic goodness in her.
Right.
So I've enjoyed this. I know my take is usually, man, give someone else a shot, but like Blue Ivy's got it. Have you seen any of it?
Yeah, I've seen some of the dancing that we posted, and she does seem like she's actually talented and skilled, and like you said, working at it. It's not just here. I'm, Jay-Z's daughter.
I agree. As long as you try, if you get the opportunity, I can live with it. All right, that'll do it for us today. We'll see you guys next time.